coming up on The Arts Connection. Music makes the world go round. We visit rock and roll heaven for a look at some oldies but goodies. Plus, we take a look back at 50 years of opera in Orlando. And we'll meet some musicians behind the scenes at Disney who give back to the community. All that and more just ahead on The Arts Connection. Hello and welcome to The Arts Connection, your program about all things creative here in Central Florida. I'm Secily Wilson and we're joining you from rock and roll heaven in downtown Orlando. And let me tell you, if you like music, this place rocks. Tens of thousands of recordings fill the bins and aisles here, from soul to British pop to country to good old rock and roll. It's 6,000 square feet of musical bliss. We'll learn more about it and get a little perspective on how the music scene has changed when we meet with one of the owners of Rock and Roll Heaven a little later in our program. You know, it's really fitting that we're here because we're going to explore the world of music with a look at some musicians we've met here on The Arts Connection. People like the members of the Disney Encore group. By day, they make the magic happen at Disney, and in their spare time, they help others through music.
I can go the distance, I will face the world.
Welcome to Hollywood, a musical tribute to the silver screen Disney style.
Then along came Zeus, he hurled his thunderbolts.
The men and women in this encore performance are not your typical A-list celebrities. They're all Disney cast members. Singer and actress by day, Lutheran Herrera is an accomplished pianist by night.
I have been the primary pianist and keyboard one vocal coach.
By day, Jason Young makes his living as an art director for Disney.
We're creating the magic that guests see every day out in the parks. All of the stage shows and, you know, the character meet and greets and things like that, it all starts right here. So we don't really get out in front of the audience very much, but at night, you know, that's my chance to get up on stage and sing.
Jason, together with other cast members throughout the park, from business, food handling to entertainment, step out of their comfort zone and onto the stage to volunteer as members of the Encore Choir and Orchestra, now in its 5th year.
Right after 9/11, there were a lot of cast members really wanting to do something good for the community. And so we put it together, and the concert was just amazing because of the passion that everyone had.
Ray Fournier, a Disney team member, came up with the idea in 2002. He admits many thought it was a huge undertaking.
I love the idea, and I knew that back then that it was going to take a lot of organization to get where we needed to go. I mean, we're talking about putting together an orchestra, a symphony orchestra, and a chorus.
A choir that started out with about 40 singers and a small pit orchestra is now a 75-piece symphony orchestra and 160 voices strong. Under the direction of Clay Price, it's lights, camera, action.
To me, it's art because it's a way of expressing myself that I don't get to normally do on a daily basis. Music has always been a very important part of my life. To me, that's one of the best art forms. It's this big rush when you hear this just wall of sound coming at you, and it's something I really can't describe what the feeling is, because I had never felt such passion coming at me.
In Hollywood, it's Superman who saves the day. These hidden heroes working at the Magic Kingdom are saving lives one paw at a time, with money generated from their encore performances.
We have raised about $60,000 in the past 5 years with our 6 different concerts that we've performed. Latest, our last concert, Hollywood, we raised $14,000 for the SPCA of Central Florida. So that was a record for us.
Each year, their talents benefit a different local charity.
In the past, they have benefited cancer charities and different children's charities, diabetes. This year was the SPCA. So that's really a strong mission with Encore, is really giving that money back to the community.
So in a lot of ways, it's rewarding in the community service ways, and it's rewarding in a let's get the community together way.
The one thing that remains the same is the passion and commitment from each Encore performer.
The reward for me is to look out there and see people receiving what I'm giving.
Everything that we did for Encore is all for free. You know, we just do it because we love it.
I can go the distance till I find my heroes welcome right where I belong.
Well, you can certainly see their passion shining through. Well, up next, a group that's been making music for 50 years. That's right. The Orlando Opera Company has written a little musical history of its own with its golden anniversary. Take a look. It's something that happens only once in a lifetime. Something that's worth celebrating and singing about. And it's happening for the Orlando Opera Company. It's reaching a new pinnacle of artistry, marking 50 years in the world of opera.
It's great for a sense of history. You know, I've only been part of it for the last 15 to 16 years, and to know that there are people that started with a vision that was small, started with a concert sponsored by the Junior League.
It was 1958 when the stage of the Orlando Municipal Auditorium was set for a small orchestra, a few lights, and even fewer singers. Orlando Opera CEO Jim Ireland.
When you look back, it was basically the first performance was 3 singers in concert. They were just with the orchestra. There were no costumes, there were no sets.
Humble beginnings for a group of artists with dreams of grandeur. That was then, and this is now.
Really the biggest show in town. It's the total package. It's the whole ball game. It's theater, it's music, it's dance, it's costumes.
Since its 1958 opening, the Orlando Opera has built a national reputation for presenting a multitude of world-class singers, conductors, and directors together to create opera magic.
Placido Domingo has been here, Sills has been here, Denise Graves has been here.
The Orlando Opera is also known for finding and training bright new rising stars like Nimrod Weisbrod, one of the opera's baritone singers.
It's wonderful, especially as a young singer, to have the opportunity to grow and learn and perform on the stage right there, which is so wonderful with an orchestra. So I'm growing, and this is the perfect environment for it, and it's exciting.
Exciting not only for the performers, but for the city of Orlando.
And in order to be a cultural center, to be a grown-up city known for its culture, you need several theater companies and at least 1 ballet, 1 symphony, and 1 opera. And we're the only opera company for 125 miles in any direction.
Some consider opera as the king of beasts. It incorporates many other art forms.
I mean, there's costume design, there's acting, there's choral work, there's the orchestra in the pit, there's dancing.
But Ireland says with opera, it takes you beyond the music.
It's a musical art form perhaps first and foremost, but if the others aren't very close behind and of equal quality, it's not good opera.
So what's the prediction for the next 50 years? Some think it's going to be one of the leading opera companies in the country. Judging by the operatic talent taking center stage, it's well on its way. And you can learn more about the Orlando Opera by simply checking out the links at our website, wmfe.org/arts. And talk about making history. We're here at Rock and Roll Heaven in downtown Orlando. Joining me now is Ray Eman, and you have had the store. Well, the store's been here since 1977. You and your brother took it over more than 20 years
That's
ago.
right, yeah.
And I've seen everything from 45s to 33s.
And now you have downloading, digital sampling. There's a whole host of different ways in which you can record music. From the onset, you had a shellac record, 78 RPM. One song per side. Had to be taken one take only. You only had one shot. That was it. Evolved into the 45 and the late 40s. Again, all live recordings, generally speaking. You didn't have multiple takes as you do nowadays. 10-inch LP, late 40s again.
Yeah.
Then you've got, of course, one of the biggest groups of all time, the Beatles, still one of the perennial big sellers.
Would you say that's one of the most exclusive records in your store?
Well, yes, because it's on the VJ label before they went to Capitol. And VJ had the exclusive rights that eventually put them out of business.
How many records would you say you have here? Thousands?
Close to 1 million, maybe perhaps more, I don't know.
Wow. Let's talk about local artists, because you have even local artists in this store. Tell us about that.
Well, every region has its artists, bands and singers and musicians and so forth that contribute to the overall music scene. But back in the 60s, for instance, you had a group called We the People, and they only had a couple of 45s. But they became rediscovered in the late 70s, and as time went on, they're considered one of the greatest garage bands of all time now. Here's a 2-CD set on somebody that was virtually unknown outside their region 40 years ago, plus.
And you can find it right here.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Heaven.
Captain Beyond, one of the greatest world's rock drummers, played in this band, lives here in Orlando. Amazing guy, amazing drummer. But Captain Beyond is now a famous cult band.
So you have people coming in looking for artists such as that. Who would you say is the most requested artist?
Typically, you're going to find Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, Pink Floyd.
There's so much in here, and there's so much to talk about, and you have all of the artists that you can ever want. So you can just come in here from soul to R&B to rock and roll. It's here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. A lot of R&B, funk. They sample everything nowadays and manipulate it. They slow it down, speed it up, and at the end of the day, you don't even recognize it.
But you'll know it right here at Rock and Roll Heaven.
I hope so.
All right. Thank you so much, Ray, for being here.
Thank you.
If you want to learn more about Rock and Roll Heaven, beside coming down here and checking it out, simply log on to our website at wmfe.org/arts. Music plays a big role in many aspects of our lives, and even in churches, of course. But in Oviedo, there's a church that goes beyond the Sunday service and reaches out to the community with music.
St. Luke's Church in Oviedo takes pride in filling the pews of its sanctuary, not just for regular Sunday service, but for a chance to hear some of Central Florida's best musical ensembles. The Brass Band of Central Florida, the Orlando Philharmonic, and the UCF Orchestra, just to name a few.
As it became known that there were great performances happening here and that the public was invited free of charge, of course the word began to get out.
The St. Luke's Concert Series first took the stage in 1994, a vision of church members like Judy Duda.
Our vision 14 years ago was simply to provide a few performances to the people of our local community beyond our church.
This is our way of giving back to the community by providing the wonderful gift of music.
A gift now in its 14th year thanks to private donations and community support.
St. Luke's church members are very proud and happy to be part of an outreach program like this.
The St. Luke's Concert Series holds 8 events each season, with each show pulling in a crowd of up to 800.
Well, the numbers, especially in some of the holiday concerts and so forth, have pushed us to have to go to matinees and provide multiple times.
As a packed venue, St. Luke's has not only been a service to the community, but a tremendous boost to the arts community, says Oviedo Mayor Mary Andrews.
I came to a concert here at St. Luke's and I I thought it was tremendous. In fact, I remember afterwards saying to myself, that is the best kept secret in Seminole County for the cultural arts, because it was the opportunity for entire families, I mean from the 2-year-olds right up to the 82-year-olds, to be able to come to a musical concert with an excellent venue. The acoustics are amazing. And to be able to sit there in the comfort with their family, whether it be 3 kids or 5 kids, and watch this musical experience.
Mark Fisher, who serves as the general manager of the Orlando Philharmonic and has performed here many times with the Orlando Philharmonic Orchestra, has called this venue probably the second best acoustical setting in all of Central Florida, following only behind the relatively new Tietke Recital Hall at Rollins College.
For founder Judy Duda, the reward of bringing music to the masses resonates throughout the pews.
To look down and see this live, vibrating audience, soaking it up, men, women, small children, the elderly, knowing that each and every one of them is enjoying a magnificent musical experience because of what St. Luke's has been able to provide to the community. It is a remarkable emotional experience for me each and every time, and I just kind of have to have an attitude of gratitude that I've been privileged to be part of something as wonderful as this.
Again, thousands have enjoyed the free concerts at St. Luke's in Oviedo. So if you'd like more information on the concert series, simply log on to our website for the links. One group that has performed at St. Luke's in Oviedo is the Orlando Concert Band. This talented group of performers has been playing and making music together for 18 years, just for the pure love of it.
My name is Jill Mall. I'm a clarinet player with the Orlando Concert Band.
My primary instrument is bass trombone.
I play principal piccolo.
People of all walks of life gather for one common interest, to share the gift of music throughout the Central Florida community. And they all give that gift for free. By night they play, but by day...
I'm a physical therapist at Florida Hospital in Orlando.
I retired out of the Army as a major.
I am the Associate Dean for Academic Administration and Records at Rollins College. Musicians in general are very committed to wanting to perform the music that we love to play for people who enjoy it, and in making sure that young people especially get to know what real instruments and live music are all about.
They aren't paid and they aren't a professional group, but they sure sound it. They call themselves the Orlando Concert Band, and they're a favorite of the St. Luke Concert Series. As they rehearse here for their upcoming concert, they're trying something new for the first time, adding dancers to the performance.
I think that when they come to see the Orlando Concert Band, they are surprised. They all come and they say, wow, we had no idea. We thought that you guys were this little community band, and we had no idea to expect this professional sound.
A sound they take pride in, saying it harkens back to the kind of music once heard at small-town bandstands.
The object was to recreate the town band that existed back in the 1800s.
Popular, patriotic, and traditional. And that was the group's mission when they first formed over 18 years ago.
The town band is a local group, plays for the local people. They don't tour, they don't get paid. We started with 20 people, and then that progressed into what we are now.
A 50-member ensemble which offers a little more pizzazz, and which they proudly showcase all across Central Florida.
We've gone into full concert band and then symphonic concert band, all of the one band. We're capable of playing almost any of it.
We have a great ensemble. We play very high quality music. The piece they're working on right now is an awesome, very difficult piece of music.
The current conductor leading the band to even greater heights is Dr. Richard Greenwood. He's also a music professor at UCF.
I've been a conductor over there for a long time, like 18 years. Right now we're just kind of getting in preparation for our concert and doing some rehearsing behind the scenes, and so just trying to get warmed up and ready to go.
For 3 years now, Richard has spent every Thursday night with this group of die-hard musicians.
I cannot believe these guys. They will come to rehearsals and kill themselves. I get there, I'm going, God, I'm so tired. I've been teaching all day, and they're ready to play.
So just what is it that keeps these volunteers playing year after year and week after week?
This is a complete passion of mine. I do this every Thursday night and have since 1990.
This is out of our hearts we speak this music.
It couldn't be better. It's probably the most enjoyable thing in my life beyond my family.
Again, we're at Rock and Roll Heaven in downtown Orlando, and there is no shortage of music here. One of the interesting things about music is that it can be very personal and also shared, and that's the case in our next story. Composer Stella Sung created music to highlight the works of artist Norman Rockwell, on display at the Orlando Museum of Art and performed by the Orlando Philharmonic. The paintings of Norman Rockwell are recognized as a symbol of Americana. His images express the essence of the American spirit, capturing the nostalgia of a people and his depiction of American life. Now, this 20th century artist is getting a new level of recognition, thanks to the works of a 21st century composer. Stella Sung, a UCF professor, says it was Rockwell's paintings that inspired her to write the music that would bring them to life.
I tried to capture what I thought was what Rockwell was trying to portray in the visuals, and I tried to portray that in a musical sense.
Sung's musical journey began when Christopher Wilkins, the conductor of the Orlando Philharmonic, approached her about the idea.
He realized that the Orlando Museum of Art was having an exhibit of the works of Norman Rockwell. So Chris, knowing that I had done some work with the Orlando Philharmonic before, using visuals and so on, approached me about doing this project with visuals and music.
Sung selected 5 works from Rockwell's collection: The Art of Facing a Blank Canvas, Stay at Home, Checkers, Mississippi Murder, and Peace Corps. Her training as a classical pianist, coupled with computer technology, helped to create her state-of-the-art compositions.
And so I work it out here on the piano, and then I put it into the notation program, and then it goes into the other program, and then it spits it out. Wow. Like magic. You see the artist, and he's facing a blank canvas. There's a little clock, and you see that there's a deadline and so on. So all artists face deadlines at some point. What I wanted to capture there was that spirit, that wonderful American spirit of people who can get themselves together and unite and find a way to move forward. And I think that's what the Peace Corps was trying to say.
I think the way that she created the compositions they really tell stories. They unfold much in the same way that Rockwell's pictures do. I believe you can kind of almost close your eyes and sort of go on that. They really evoke visual pictures, I think, in your mind as you listen to it.
My hope is that this kind of work can, again, go across and open up to concert audiences, to symphony concert audiences, another way of thinking about the creation of artistic expression.
What we like to do at orchestras and cultural institutions is create, and to create exciting programs, and to create such exciting programs that we fill the seats in the concert hall, and that people have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity every time they come to the Orlando Philharmonic.
The orchestra is performing Sung's new work titled Rockwell Reflections, with live projections of his paintings for you to hear and see.
I created a MIDI track, or a MIDI version of the music. The conductor studied the score from that, and the visual artists who created the DVDs upon which the Rockwell paintings are projected, they used that to synchronize the music and artwork together.
Schillhammer says projects like this help to keep the orchestra current.
The Orlando Philharmonic needs to be performing American music and by living composers. We can't be a museum piece where we only play works of the past. We have to be a living, breathing, and dynamic institution that's playing works of the current day.
Rockwell's unique collection of paintings all visualized a different story, each one evoking a different feeling. It's those emotions musical combinations are made of.
All of them had something for me, and each one there was a specific kind of feeling in each one, and I had the whole collection to choose from, but somehow these spoke to me, and so I hope they'll speak to the audiences as well.
Rockwell is a signature artist who deserves a signature theme song.
Every artist has a signature, so I figured Norman Rockwell needs to have one too. It's based on this little theme here, and it's Norman Rockwell. And so you'll hear that theme used throughout all the pieces in various different ways.
America's greatest visions chronicled on canvas, now being brought to life through the art of music. That wraps it for us here at Rock and Roll Heaven in downtown Orlando. We certainly hope you have enjoyed our program. Don't forget to check us out on the web. That's WMFE.org/arts. You can view our podcast there, get information about any of the stories that you've just seen, and of course, send us your ideas. We'll see you next week. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.